I'm going to be sharing with you guys all the details you need to know in order to make this candy corn cup. Now let's start on our designing platform. Today I'm going to be using Cricut Design Space. I found some images of these candy corn that I loved, so I decided to work with them. However, I just want to work with one. So my little hack to just getting one when you have multiple in one image is contouring out the other ones. This way it is much easier to work with and you can place them wherever you want. Once I have the images just how I like them, I'm going to head over to shapes. I like using shapes as a guidance on how I want to place my design. Taking the measurements of the surface area that I have to work with, I'm going to make a custom square. In this case, I'm able to place the images just where I like them to be able to visualize my design much better. While we're on the topic of treats for Halloween, let's add a little bit more of a trick-or-treat feel to this cup. We're going to make the same colorway as the candy corn. Now that we have our colors on the screen, let's go ahead and pick out our vinyls. First color we'll be using is vanilla for the tip of the candy corn, and then we're going to use this beautiful bright pumpkin color. The color seems a little deceiving now, but wait till you see how it actually looks. And the last color we'll be using is yellow passion. This is such a beautiful bright yellow to use. Now let's gather additional materials. We will be using today the standard teckwrap mat. It is the perfect adhesive for vinyl products. And now we're going to bring out our pouch. Our pouch holds all of our essentials. We'll be using today the squeegee, and for this project we might need a few more squeegees. So I brought my additional ones as well. And this particular squeegee has felt on the edge. It is so great for ensuring that it glides smoothly over your vinyl. And then we'll bring out our needle pen. Our needle pen is great for not only weeding, but also getting those stubborn air bubbles out. And then of course our tweezers to get the tiny little details out. One of my absolute favorite features of teckwrap vinyl rolls is how easy it is to take it out of its packaging. You pull on a small tab and the rest just comes right off. I already love these colors together, so I can't wait for you guys to see the actual true colors. And I just needed to show you just one more satisfying vinyl unwrapping. I always suggest cutting your vinyl with a paper cutter. This way you can make cuts that are able to be used later in projects. I tend to find if I cut with scissors, I'll cut unevenly and many scraps can go unused. Another great feature about teckwrap vinyl is that it comes with a protective layer. This protective layer makes sure that your vinyl is not scratched or damaged whenever you store it. And look at that beautiful bright orange color. I love it. I'm going to show you guys my absolute favorite way to lay colors onto a mat, and that's by doing multiple colors on one mat and cut it in one go. As a crafter, it's so sad to see so much vinyl go to waste on some projects because I didn't use an optimizing way on how to organize my objects. So here, we're going to fill in every nook and cranny with the objects as much as possible. So here I'm organizing the orange color first to make sure I don't have any vinyl that goes to waste. Now you're going to go over to the color you want to transfer. You can just click and highlight them and click the mat you want to put all your objects on. It doesn't really matter which color you put them on, as long as you just organize them the way you placed your colors on your mat. Something that is also very helpful is when you go over to that other color that you want to move it out of position where your current objects are on the mat. So for example, I'm going to move this yellow color under so when I go over to my orange mat, they're not in the way and it's easier for me to see what objects I am moving. Once the Cricut is all done cutting, I'm going to go ahead and bring out the paper trimmer again. The paper trimmer is my favorite tool to use in order to optimize all the leftover vinyl possible. I like to use the same vinyl for future projects, especially when they are seasonal colors like this Halloween pack. Weeding out teckwrap vinyl is always such a hassle-free process, especially if you use their recommended settings for the machine that you have. Even the small details come out with such ease. Now I'm going to bring out a handy dandy pair of scissors. My process for this project involves stacking the letters before placing it on the cup. That allows me to better visualize where the letters go and how I want the design to look. Now I'm bringing out the Tech Wrap transfer tape. This transfer tape is one of the best ones I have ever used. The adhesive is just right. Some transfer tapes can be too sticky and leave a residue on the vinyl, but this one doesn't, and the adhesive is just enough to make sure that it holds your vinyl well and transfers smoothly onto the object you want to put it on. As you can see, I'm currently stacking them, and sometimes the vinyl will touch my mat. However, it doesn't stick onto my mat, which is such a great thing because that means that the transfer tape is just as forgiving as the vinyl. Now let's bring over our beer glass can. This is what we're going to use to place the vinyl onto. So grabbing your squeegee, the best thing about these squeegees is that these grooves actually hold the cup in place for you while you're trying to put the vinyl on it. So what you're going to do is lay down the squeegee and lay your cup right on top. And just like that, it's very secure. As you can see, I moved it and it didn't even wiggle. Once you have the vinyl right where you want it, you're going to want to go ahead and squeegee it down. I love using the felt on one of my squeegees in order to make sure that it glides smoothly and pressing down as hard as possible while still being gentle on the vinyl. I'm using the same method as before with the letters. I am stacking all the colors that I need to complete an object and then placing it on over to the cup. Sometimes before using my squeegee, I'd like to gradually adhere the vinyl onto the cup in order to make sure I'm minimizing as much air bubbles as possible. And then you just push any air bubbles out with the squeegee. And look at that beautiful result. I love how the matte finish on this vinyl.